Twilight cloaked the deep forest in long shadows and ghostly silence. The last rays of light filtered through the dense canopy above, throwing distorted reflections across the windshield of a parked car. Inside, a man sat still, hands gripping the steering wheel, eyes glued to the side mirror. His breath fogged the window in short, shallow bursts. He saw movement, soft, almost imperceptible, behind the car. She was there, hiding. She thought she was unseen, but the mirror betrayed her. When their eyes finally met, his through the reflection, hers wide and burning with fury, she stood up stiffly from her crouch behind the vehicle.
Tu idiotti, oot sä seonnut?
You idiot, you have lost your mind? She snapped, her voice cutting through the stillness like a slap. Her name was Vera, and in that moment her voice held both love and betrayal. Without waiting for his response, she bolted down the lonely forest road, her boots pounding the gravel with desperate rhythm. The man remained still for only a second longer before slamming the car into gear and following, the headlights slicing through the creeping dusk. She ran with everything she had, her breaths ragged, arms pumping, but the car followed with relentless patience. She knew these woods. She had walked this path with him countless times, hand in hand, back when it was love and laughter. Now it was echoing panic and survival. She finally stopped, her chest heaving, shoulders shaking. The car screeched to a halt beside her. He rolled down the window, face shadowed, voice calm in contrast to the madness in his eyes. Leave me alone. You are crazy, she yelled without turning to look at him. I'm sorry, he said, still seated behind the wheel, his voice eerily level. But you don't leave me a choice. You don't listen to me.
Get in the car and we can talk about it, okay? I know the thing with the trunk was a bit over the top.
Fuck you, she hissed. And without warning, she dashed off the road, disappearing into the thicket of trees, roots, and ancient silence. The man stayed frozen for a moment. The man took a sip from a can of soda, then carelessly tossed the empty can out of the car window. Then he reached to the back seat and retrieved something long and gleaming, a forest axe, once used to chop firewood. Now it gleamed under the dying sun with a cruel shimmer. He stepped out of the car slowly, eyes fixed in the direction Vera had gone, and bellowed with a voice that bounced off every mossy trunk and crooked branch. Vera! The name echoed like a curse through the woods. From the distance, breathless but defiant, came her reply, "Fuck you." She pushed forward, deeper into the ancient heart of the forest. Branches slapped her arms and tangled in her hair. Roots threatened to trip her, but she kept going. Her lungs begged for air, but she couldn't stop. Not when she could still hear him behind her, crashing through leaves and snapping twigs with every determined step. He was faster, stronger, and angry, and yet she ran. He called her name again for a moment and looked back. She saw the man running after her, holding an axe and looking extremely aggressive. The man stopped and they both stared at each other. That was when Vera started running again, non-stop. But he kept chasing her, and both of them were breathing heavily as they ran. Her strength was fading, her legs were trembling, but something deeper, pure fear, or maybe instinct, kept her moving. Then, silence, the kind that screams. A step behind her, a breath, a presence. She turned slowly. There he was, axe in hand, eyes wild, hair matted with sweat, chest rising and falling like the breath of a beast. He didn't speak, neither did she. They just stared. He stepped closer. Vera didn't move, though every fiber of her being screamed for her to run. But she had nothing left, only fear and maybe fury. The axe, still in his grip, was not raised. But it was enough just being there. It was the weight of unspoken things, of a love that had rotted and bloated into obsession. They stood locked in a silence more dangerous than screams, surrounded by the forest that had once been theirs and now bore witness to something unspeakable.